Namaste and a very warm welcome to everyone for joining us today. The 3 days workshop organized by Dakshi has reached the third and final day of online research workshop. This workshop has been a journey of knowledge, dialogue, and reflection. Over the past 2 days, we have had the privilege of listening to distinguished scholars and researchers who illuminated our diverse perspectives of our theme. So, as we all know, every academic endeavor attains meaning when we seek the blessings of Goddess Saraswati, the eternal source of knowledge and enlightenment. So, let us now invoke her presence through the Saraswati Vandana. Kindly join for the Vandana. या कुन्देन्तु तुषारहारधवला या शुभ्रवस्त्रावृता या वीणावरदण्डमण्डितकरा या श्वेतपद्मासना या ब्रह्माच्युतशङ्कर प्रभृतिभिर्देवैः सदा वन्दिता सा मां पातु सरस्वती भगवती निशेषजाड्यापहा निशेषजाड्यापहा. Thank you. This 3-day research workshop has been envisioned by Dakshi as a platform to bring students and scholars and enthusiasts together to explore the richness of Indian knowledge system and their contemporary relevance. And today, on day 3, we look forward to yet another enlightening session that marks the culmination of this academic endeavor. It gives me immense pleasure to introduce our host for today's session, Dr. Soumya Nair. Ma'am is a polymath and a thought leader who has played a pivotal role in advancing Indian knowledge systems. Her contributions have shaped academic programs, research collaborations, and dialogues between traditional Sastric scholars and contemporary academia, ensuring their continued relevance in academic and policy making. A dedicated scholar with a comprehensive academic background in Sanskrit, specializing in Vedanta, she holds a bachelor's degree in Sanskrit Special Vedanta, a master's degree in Sanskrit Vedanta, and an MPhil from renowned Indian universities. Notably, Ma'am has been awarded a PhD for her research exploring intercultural philosophical dimensions with emphasis on Advaitic thought and Sufism. She is the author of the book on Sufism and Vedanta and has more than 25 research papers to her credit. With 6 years of teaching experience, Ma'am has also been actively involved in training programs. She specialization in translation and manuscript editing of traditional philosophical texts. Actively contributing to academic forums, she has been recognized with the prestigious Acharya Chanakya Samman of the year 2023. At present, she is an integral part of the Dakshi movement. It is indeed an honor to have her with us today. So, without any further ado, I would like to now warmly invite Ma'am to take over the session and guide us on how to incorporate the idea of Indian perspective in today's academics. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you. Am I audible, right? Yes. Okay, thank you. So thank you all to give me an opportunity to explore about Indian knowledge system and how this Indian knowledge system we can include in our academic areas. So I think last 2 days, you guys explored about Indian knowledge system and the research areas. Now, how I'm going to talk about how we can include these ideas, especially this Indian knowledge system related and manuscript related things in your academics. Basically, I think you are degree students and PG, right, and researchers. So, in research area, how we can include this Indian knowledge system? Basically, everybody is thinking that Indian knowledge system something very related to traditional thing. Actually, it is not like that. We can include Indian knowledge system in science related and philosophy related, and we can include all that area. So, I will explore that through this session. So quickly I will share my screen. Then is it my screen is visible? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Thank you. So, how we can integrate Indian knowledge system? That is the main thing. Usually, people used to do think we can only this Indian knowledge system. It is something related to, particularly related to traditional things, Sanskrit. It is not like that. So, through this, I'm going to explore how this Indian knowledge system and the knowledge of Indian knowledge system as ontological and epistemological foundations of Indian knowledge system. And this series tries to give an overview of how Indian metaphysics differs from the scientific and the modern perspective of knowledge production and understanding of reality. Means every aspect, if I'm going to tell you about Indian knowledge system. So in our traditional knowledge, we used to give three four categories like adhigari, then vishaya, prayojana also, then the result. So here, Adhigari, you guys, you are the listeners. So you can understand and you can decide how can you use this Indian knowledge system. So prayojana means prayojana manudishya mandona pravartade. It's a Sanskrit verse. So without prayojana, without the benefit, nobody will do any work. So the result is you can apply these aspects, because now I'm going to tell you some kind of research oriented points. So you can use that research oriented points and you can apply that in your research paper. So that will be the outcome of this workshop. So basically, Indian knowledge system, what is Indian knowledge system? Indian knowledge system, it is this definition is as per NEP 2020. So Indian knowledge system refers to the comprehensive and holistic body of knowledge that has evolved in the Indian subcontinent over the millennia. It encompasses diverse areas such as philosophy, science, arts, architecture, medicine, governance, linguistics, mathematics, spirituality, and ecology, deeply rooted in Indian culture and traditions. So, IKS characterized by its integration of material and spiritual dimension, aiming for the well-being of individual and the society as a whole. Actually, Indian knowledge system, Bharatiya Jnana Vijnana Parampara. That is actually Indian knowledge system. So this Bharatiya Jnana Vijnana Parampara, IKS Division Delhi, given this title, Bharatiya Jnana Vijnana, you can think what is the difference between Jnana and Vijnana. So and after that Parampara, it's a tradition. All we know, this is a tradition. Initially it was an oral tradition, then after that it is in the written form. Now we are getting the manuscripts and other traditional textbooks, all this in the form of written forms. So Indian civilization, or it is a way of life. So this Indian civilization has always attached to the great value of Bharatiya Jnana Vijnana Parampara. See, in traditional knowledge, we used to say Paravidya and Aparavidya. So through experience, we are getting some knowledge. Through sense organs, we are getting some knowledge. It's different. Experiencing something we are experiencing, it is different. Something we are getting through, that is also different. That is what Indian tradition emphasizing metaphysics, epistemology. Epistemology means six epistemological categories we used to say. That is pratyaksha. I think you know about that. Pratyaksha, Anumana, Upamana, Shabda, Arthapati, Anubhalabdi. These are the ways of meaning. We are getting knowledge through this kind of thing. Pratyaksha, we are getting knowledge through pratyaksha, direct experience. We are seeing through sense organs, through eyes. Through eyes we are getting. Then based on that we are aiming. We are anumana, then upamana, then shabda, arthapati, anubhalati. I am not going to that in detail, but this is the structure of our Indian knowledge system. So whatever we are getting through, that is jnana and vijnana. Here the distinction is according to made between jnana and vijnana is through this metaphysics only, through this epistemology only. Something I am getting, something I have seen, something through the sense organs I go to know, then after that I am applying that thing in some other areas. See, a great example is Yatra Yatra Dhumaha Tatra Tatra Vanihi Yatha Mahanasaha. It's an example of Anumana. I'll tell you that later. But this is, you keep it in your mind. See, that is once I am getting some knowledge, then I am applying that. I am connecting that knowledge to other. That is Jnana and Vijnana. So the knowledge of fact of the perceptible world, so the first kind of knowledge is observational. That is perception. That is observational thing and gained by eyes, etc. Because sense organs, pratyaksha. The other is experiential and it is gained by the inner self and drishta. That is our Indian knowledge system. Main thing it is that only. Something we are experiencing. See, if you don't know about the taste of sugar, you don't know, you never experienced. I am telling you about that sweet, it is looks like that, sugar is looks like this, and it is very sweet, it looks like laddu, it the taste is laddu, it's like. But however I am explaining, you can't get that. Once you experience that, then you can, this is sugar, the sweetness of sugar you can get to know. The same thing, emotions. See, the love, the passion, all these things we can experience. It is something different. That is gained through inner self. That is Bharatiya Jnana Vijnana Parampara emphasis. So the primary knowledge, jnana of knowledge, have give constituted and maintained and transmitted in oral framework of Indian history of ideas. That is, initially we got to know everything through orally only. Guru Shishya Parampara, that is the thing. As oral text, they are constituted to facilitate memorization as they have to be held in the mind and transmitted orally in Guru Shishya mode. I told you this is orally, oral transmit, oral tradition. Guru Shishya Parampara. That is our highway. So, example, Amara Kosha, that's written by Amara Simha. So, this is a metricalized. So, other features of speech are also employed, both helps memorization and to communicate meaning. Thus, that is memorizing. We are, if a sutra means it will be like it's a formula. We can say in Sanskrit, grammar is basically in the form of sutras. Sutras means formula. See, once you know that formula, example in mathematics or in physics also, the theorem, if you know, you can apply that wherever you want. A plus b the whole square. If you know that, you can apply that wherever you want. The same thing here, it is sutra. See, see how we are connecting this sutra and Indian tradition to the modern science. See, here it is sutra. Now we are applying that in the form of formulas. So, for example, Panini employs the pitch variation to mark the change of topic in his grammar, that is Ashtadhyayi. They are highly structured, are necessarily brief, and are composed and abbreviated. That is sutric form and numetic style. So this is highly normalized style with language with technical vocabulary. So this meta language with its other complex device of abbreviated expressions such as anuvritti, reading part earlier statements into subsequent statement add to the density of the text. Why I am explaining about Ashtadhyayi means in Ashtadhyayi now the computer, this large language models. Now, some of the people they are creating large language models in Sanskrit. So this algorithm is very related to this Ashtadhyayi structure. So those who are interested in computer science, you can explore with this. But the problem is those who know Sanskrit, they are unable to do this LLM, large language model creations. Those who know large language model creations, they can't do this Sanskrit thing. So what I'm suggesting is those who know Sanskrit and you can collaborate together, and you can, if some projects or something, if anywhere, because some of the companies, I'm also part of one Austria project, they are creating translation for Sanskrit, because while we are doing translation, online translation, it is very difficult because we are not getting the correct meaning, correct translation we are not getting. So now we are the platform, that Guru Omka platform, I think in LinkedIn page you can see that. So in Guru Omka platform we are trying to create some accurate translations. So LLM creation is going on. So those who are interested on to part of that project, and you are interested to part of that project, you can contact me. See, we are also doing that large language model creations. So the problem is that Austrian guy, he doesn't know about Sanskrit. So he is learning Sanskrit from I am giving classes daily, 1 hour classes, and then he is learning Sanskrit. Then will be easy for him for the large language model creation. So this is a one of the area you guys you can explore in Ashtadhyayi area, because I am also not much competent on this Ashtadhyayi. We can do the linguistics aspect. So as a linguist, I can rectify, I can check the correct, because whether they are creating the good LLM, or whether the structure of morphological structure of the Sanskrit is it good, and the syntax, what about the syntax, all that things we can do. So this is also an option for those who are interested in Sanskrit, and those who are interested to contribute more in Indian knowledge system. That is what I have explained this way. So, this organization of Indian knowledge system, we know, because it's very holistic and interconnected approach to the knowledge. That is what everything is there in Indian knowledge system. Ayurvedic aspects are there, astronomy is there, this Vrishayurveda, that is there. Then here it is Krishi related, farming related thing, it is there, and chess, that also there. See, what I have explained here, all this Vastu Shastra. And see, you can think about the Surya Siddhanta, Konark temple, it's particular temple architecture. These areas you can explore. That is what I explained this about. See, next one, I would like to tell you about this philosophical system. Why I am explaining this philosophical system means, you know about Chadurdasha Vidyasthana. Chadurdasha Vidyasthana, Veda Vedanga, Upanishad, all that things you know, right? So, this Upanishadic thing, that is philosophical aspects. Why I am explaining contributing more in philosophical aspects means, there are Shad Darshanas, that is Astika and Nastika. Nastika is, we know, that is Buddha, Jaina, Charvaga. It is that thing. But Astika Darshanas, that is Sankhya, Yoga, Nyaya, Vaisheshika, Purva Mimamsa, and Uttara Mimamsa. These are the Astika Darshanas. So, we can explain that detail in manner. See, here it is Vedanta philosophy. Vedanta philosophy is a school of Hindu philosophy that interpret and elaborate of the teachings of Upanishads. You know that these are the teachings of Upanishads. See, Vedanta also, there are two kinds of Vedanta is there, Uttara Mimamsa and Purva Mimamsa. Purva Mimamsa, it is particularly about the yagas and homas. Uttara Mimamsa, it is Jnana Kanda. So in this Jnana Kanda, something related to psychological aspects, emotional balancing, all that things you can explore. Now the studies are going on about this Vedanta philosophy. Psychological, because you know about Bhagavad Gita. Now MBA students, they are learning Bhagavad Gita as a subject. Why? Because there are some particular areas they are focusing about management, life skills, life learning, and psychological aspects. Psychological aspects also there in Bhagavad Gita, and especially in Upanishads. Upanishads are in the form of stories. But now everybody is facing stress, strain. We can't control our emotions. If it's because new generation, new trend is, if something happened very fastly, our mind is distracted. We can't control our emotions, and we are very fast. If we got any less mark, we are stressed because I can't suffer that. So here the main thing is emotional balancing. See how we can balance our emotions through Vedanta, philosophy. Yoga also a part of this philosophy. Yoga, we used to do some yoga, pranayama, Surya Namaskara. It is external and inner peace also. We can say this is vyayama, exercise, and same thing, inner peace also we can get through this yoga. So it is very important. Then, so the area you can explore and you can research is, yes, yes, Monica, you want to ask you something?
No, ma'am.
Okay, okay, okay. So, uh,
Sorry for
Nyaya,
interrupting, ma'am, but actually your screen is not visible to us.
yes, no, is it not visible?
Yes, ma'am, it is not visible.
Now, now is it visible? Okay. So here, the philosophical system, first we introduce about Vedanta, then yoga. So in Vedanta and yoga, those who want to do research on Vedanta and yoga, it is something connected. One is inner peace and how we can achieve that inner peace to yoga, pranayama, and some different kind of mudras. Mudras we can connect through psychological aspects also. I'm doing a research on that and I'm writing a paper also because I am connected to some of the organizations, those who are the psychological and psychological clinics. So I am also doing some research on that, how these mudras can improve our quality of life and quality of learning and quality of research. Like if those who are learning, students can also explore with this. So now we are on the part of that project. So it is those who are interested to do that project are any research areas and any like any paper presentation or something, let me know, because it's also connected how we can connect this. And nyaya is the system of logic and epistemology. See, now this legal studies, because Bharatiya Parampara is exploring about this legal studies also. Because in Goa, one national law university is there. I went there and I presented a paper. There, they are also planning some logical aspects. They are planning to take some logical aspects from Nyaya philosophy. Initially, I also wonder how they can include this. Then I learned about that. Then I got to know about this Anumana, Upamana, all these epistemological aspects are there in Nyaya philosophy. So there's some kind of aspects they can take from there. For example, with the same rule, and they are justifying and they are giving opponent and they are giving the solutions. That is also happening in Nyaya philosophy also. So it is also an area you can explore. Vaisheshika philosophy is related to focusing metaphysics, atomism, and nature of reality. Vaisheshika Siddhanta is the first, that is atom, the indivisible particle, that is atom. So that is termed as Anu. So Vaisheshika Siddhanta is exploring Paramana Siddhanta. See, Paramanu Siddhanta is explored by Vaisheshika. So how, because there are some kind of aspects, Siddhanta Rupika. So these I'm not more, I don't know more about that, but I know about Vaisheshika philosophy. But those who are interested in that atom related thing, that chemistry, so you can explore that, and there are some connections are there. So what are the ideas are here and what are the ideas are there, you can explore that. Yoga we already explained. Then Buddhism, Jainism, and Charvakam. Buddhism, you know, guys. Charvaka is particularly about the materialism. So that is now we are exploring, because Charvaka means materialism. You know, because whatever we are experiencing, that is truth. Nothing is there beyond our death. That is Charvaka philosophy. That is about this. Then next is always the thing is philosophy versus science. Always that question every time it is there. See, while we are explaining about philosophy and the science, so the problem is how we can quantify our data. That is the most in problem we are facing. Those who are working on this traditional knowledge system, we are facing the thing is how we can quantify our data. See, the German physicist Werner Heisenberg once said about Indian philosophy, some of the ideas of quantum physics that seems to be so crazy suddenly became more meaningful. Example, the concept of atom, molecules, and substances can be traced back to the Vedic age. Moreover, the concept of astronomy, metaphysics, and spirituality are described in Rig Veda, the ancient Hindu scripture of Vedic period. See, the quantum physics that is connected. See, in quantum physics is something related to the concept of Vedanta, that is in ultimate reality only one is there, that is Brahman, the concept of Brahman. So how this quantum related thing, Maya, it's an illusion, how this is connected, those who know quantum physics, they can connect this with knowledge of Brahman. This is also another area of research. And now we can quickly move to the Sanskrit and Indian textbooks. See how we are getting the knowledge. We are getting the knowledge through textbooks. Initially, the traditional peoples they used to give the knowledge through orally only. Now we are fortunate to get this everything in your fingertip. Like if googling, we're getting the knowledge, we're getting the books. So the classical text and their educational value is classical Sanskrit texts like Vedas and Upanishads provides the rich educational insights and ethical principles, making them valuable, copyrightable resources for the educational purpose. So you can use that classical textbooks for research purpose, and if you want to write some textbooks, and if you want to edit something, that also, if the copyrightable is there, then you can do that. Then contemporary interpretations and adaptations means Sanskrit and Indian texts often adopt the traditional narratives, enhancing cultural relevance while preserving original essence, thus creating a new copyrightable educational resource. And visual and performing arts as educational resource. Here, visual performing arts derive from the Sanskrit and Indian scriptures, such as you can use that dance, music, and visual arts. They are the copyrightable as unique interpretation and fostering the educational enrichment and the cultural preservation also. So you can adopt something if in that or if those who are interested in art, those who are interested in dance, so you can use Natya Shastra, you can Bharata Muni's Natya Shastra you can use, and you can take some aspects, you can explore with that. So these are also another area of research. So the promise of Indian knowledge system is, I said, it is holistic wisdom, integrates mind, body, and spirit in unified learning approaches. That is the great thing of Indian knowledge system, I could say. See, as per new NDP 2020, they highlighted Indian knowledge system only because of that it is holistic wisdom. Because the new generation need that holistic wisdom. Otherwise, because you are the you guys to lead the new future generation. So the holistic wisdom is needed. Ethical foundation. It provides robust framework for the moral reasoning and civic responsibility. Interdisciplinary vision, that is now we are exploring through this through our platform. See, demonstrate interconnectors across philosophy, science, and arts. So IKS represents a millennia of sophisticated intellectual development, offering alternative paradigms for inquiry, problem solving, and knowledge organization that remain profoundly relative today. See why I'm explaining this, because this is the need of the new current generation. If we are in the age of artificial intelligence and robotics, but even though we are facing the problems, we are facing some problems, inner problems and physical problems also. See, every problems and solutions will be there, but sometimes we are unable to get. We are not the god, right? We can't. If the scholar also can't get every solutions from Indian knowledge system, and truly I'm saying. But if you are exploring, if you are interested to explore Indian knowledge system, the solutions will be there. So that is the attraction of Indian knowledge system. That treasure is inside. We have to collect that treasure. That is the idea of Indian knowledge system. See, I said no. This arts and culture, the classical arts, dance form like Bharatanatyam, Odissi, Kathak, and music styles like Hindustani and Carnatic. So here, why I'm saying is, those who are interested in this kind of arts, there are some particular textbooks are there in manuscript forms. So you can take that. So those who are interested in dance, those who are dancers, so those who are interested in Bharatanatyam. So all these ideas are not explored. Now also you can explore, you can combine, you can fusion things you can do. Fusion some kind of dance programs you can do. So the procedure explained, it is very clearly explained in the some kind of some grantha, Pali, the manuscripts are available. So those who are interested on that, they can explore music style also. This fusion kind of aspects you can do, and you can do the research. And another thing is architecture, temple, palace, and monuments showcasing intricate the design and sculpture. See, the idea, those who are interested in civil engineering aspects, so engineering students now, some of the IITs, they are interested to collaborate, and they are planning to do some research and IKS related projects also, because now IKS division Delhi is focusing about Indian knowledge system. So offer, I think, if each 6 months they are giving some proposals. We have to give the proposals, and once it's approved by the IKS center, then you can do the project. They will give the fund also. So these areas like visual arts, literature related thing, all these areas you can explore. As in Sanskrit, I don't know who are the, some of them are will be interested in Sanskrit, and Sanskrit students also. So you can explore and different kind of textbooks edition. Because some of the textbooks manuscripts are not even now also it is not edited. So you can explore on that. So if grantha script, you can learn grantha script, and you can explore on that area. And if for example, if those who are interested in civil engineering area, so the idea, what I'm saying is, the idea will be there. You can take that idea, and based on your ID, because based on your buddhi, yukti, that is what buddhi yukti prayoga. First buddhi, then yukti, then prayoga, application. You can apply that idea with the modern context. See, everything is there in the we can't say in Indian knowledge system everything is there in the modern sense. No, it is not like that. The idea will be there. So that idea we can use, and we can use that at the need and demand of the society and need and demand of ourselves. That is the thing. The idea will be there. That is the knowledge. The knowledge is there. The wisdom is there. You can use that wisdom as the need and demand of the society. See, this architecture, I said no, rich and diverse heritage spanning several millennia. One of the most iconic a contribution is the construction of magnificent temple, showcasing the intricate carving and detailed sculpture. Vastu Shastra, an ancient architecture guide, played a pivotal role in shaping the layout and design principle of Indian building, emphasizing the harmony and balance in their structure. So this what I'm trying to say is the idea you can take from that textbooks, and you can apply now in the modern sense. See here, just a minute. Here the network issue is here. In Agastya Samhita, Maharshi Agastya explained the method of making electric battery. So, samsthapye manmaye patre, tamrapatro susamskatam, shikhi, शिखी ग्रावोहि कस्ताभ्या दस्तलोष्मी निगद्भ्यः पारडिच्छा तव संयोगदा जयते तेजो मित्रवरुणा संधितम. This is an example. See, this means the place, you can read this. The place a well cleaned copper plate in an earthenware vessel, cover it with copper sculpture, and then with the moist sandwords. After that, put the mercury amalgamate zinc sheet on the top of sawdust and avoid the polymerization, and the contact with the produce an energy node by twin name and Mitra Varuna. Water will split by this. The current in Pranavayu and Udvanavayu, the chain of 100 jar is said to give a very effective force. See, here you can, because it's connected with electric battery, but the idea is already there in our Indian knowledge system. So that is, these are the main aspects we can take from here. I told you, no, the idea will be there, like this other ideas are also there, you can explore with that. This is an example, only the example. Agastya Samhita, Maharshi Agastya explained the method of making electric battery. Okay. So, but the problem again, because I'm telling you about the problems also, academic challenges. See, if I am explaining all these things, you are listening, you are interested because of that. If it is an argumentative mode, the problem is how we will quantify this data. So previously I have explained about the electric thing, right? So how we will quantify this data? That is the problem. So fragmented knowledge, silos, limited ethical grounding, narrow specialization focus, disconnected from the cultural heritage. Contemporary education excels in specialization but struggle with interdisciplinary ethical foundations and holistic development, creating an urgent need for the transformative integration. So now what we are focusing is we have to overcome all this challenge. But that is what I am telling you about this challenges. Here the challenges, these are the challenges. How we can overcome these challenges? These challenges we can overcome only through the researchers. The researchers, the collaborative effect, the collaborative projects. The collaborative projects only we can do this. Otherwise, we can't do anything. So the collaborative, those who know Sanskrit and those who know about the Indian knowledge system and those who are interested, those who are experts in science. So you guys, you can collaborate because now we are doing some of the projects as a part of Indian knowledge system IKS division Delhi, but we don't know those who are interested. So it is open for everyone, but some of the people, some of the students, they are not interested. So now I am telling you, you can contact me, and if you are interested in any kind of areas, and in next slides also I am explaining something, some different research areas also. So the thing is, you can apply that knowledge because Sanskrit related things I know, so I can help you. Okay. So in academic area, the curriculum design we can include because develop an interdisciplinary modules and specialized electives. Electives nowadays, I think in some of the academies and some of the universities, they are focusing electives of Indian knowledge system and Bhagavad Gita and Arthashastra because National Forensic University, they are focusing about Arthashastra aspects because in Arthashastra some of the in forensic aspects are there, so they are focusing, and some of the modules because it is two modules. National Forensic University offered, I think, two modules elective on this Arthashastra and faculty development program. Train educators in IKS methodologies and applications. See, if the teachers know, then it will be good for others also. Otherwise, it won't work. So the teachers should, the faculty development programs like FDPs we can contact and we can teach the teachers, and because they know, but how to apply this Indian knowledge system. That is through this emphasizing through the faculty development program. And obviously research innovations. Establish a dedicated center for empirical validation because now some of the colleges and universities, they are focusing FDP like IKS centers. IKS center means like inpatient centers like IKS center. So there, through that, you can give, you can propose IKS projects and you can write papers. So this research innovations under the IKS division and IKS centers you can propose. Then moving to the next one, another example of Vedas and Newton's law of motion. Everybody knows Newton's law of motion. But see, first law of motion is Maharshi Kanada. Vega nimitta visheshat Karmano Jayate. This is from Kanada Sutra. I told you, like, Kanada Sutra is explaining about change of motion is due to the impressed force. So Newton's first law is the change of motion is due to the impressed force. This is already explained in Kanada Sutra. Vega nimitta visheshada karmano jayate. Now it's in a form of theorem. That's it. The difference is that only. See, the law states that an object at rest tends to stay at rest. An object in motion tends to stay in motion with the same speed and in the same direction unless acted upon by an unbalanced force. What I'm trying to say is the content, the idea is there. See, Vega Nimitta Visheshada Karmano Jayate. Those who know about science, it's just an example. Those who know about science, you can connect this. See, that is the attraction. See, I am not saying first law of motion is there in the Maharshi Kanada Sutra. It is not like that. The idea is there. The same kind of ideas are there in future. So you can explore with that. Second law of motion. See, Maharshi Kanada. Again, Vega Nimitta Pekshata Karmano Jayate Niyadadika Kriya Prabandha Hetu. Just give me 1 second. Sorry, because actually here it is raining, downpour. So sometimes this network loss will be happen. That is what I turn on the legs. Okay. So here, second law of motion about Vega Nimitta Pekshata Karmano Jayate Niyatadika Kriya Prabandha Hetu. The translation is change of motion is proportional to the impressed force and is in the direction of the force. So Newton, as per Newton's, the change of motion is proportional to the motive force impressed and is made in the direction of right line in which the force is impressed. And the third law of motion. Again, Kanada Sutra explained Vega Samyoga Vishesha Virodhi. Action and reaction are equal and opposite. Newton, to every action, there is always an equal and opposite reaction. See how structuredly they said in a form of sutra, Vega Samyoga Vishesha Virodhi. And now we know about this law of motion, right? So we can connect that. Like that, there are some other ideas are also there. So why I'm trying to say is you can get to know about modern science, but you have to know about the ancient wisdom also. These ideas are there. The ideas are already there. We have to only the thing is we have to do the explore. So through this kind of areas, you can do research on that. See only one because under that also because in this is Maharshi Kanada Sutra first I think chapter 3, but in the same thing other ideas are also there. So if those who are interested, you can do research on these kind of areas. It is not much complicated Sanskrit. Those who know how to read Sanskrit and those who know how to interpret Sanskrit, then you can able to do that. Then science and mathematics. So we know contribution includes decimal, zero, advanced algebra, see, medicine and astronomy, the pioneer work of observational and mathematical astronomy, medicine, the development of Ayurveda, a holistic medicine. I am not, you guys know about that. Mathematical contribution, Leelavati, Bhaskaracharya's Leelavati, the contribution of zero, and Charaga Samhita, Sushruta Samhita, Varaha Mihira's mathematics and astronomy, gravity related thing, Bhaskaracharya, then literature, Vyasa, Kalidasa. Then atomic chemistry is Kanada, that I said. Then zero, Aryabhatta. These are the key points. You can explore on these areas. You can explore because gravity related things, Bhaskara Sukta is there. In that Bhaskara Sukta, the Bhaskara Sukta's translations are also available. Here, the translations are also available. It is not in the Sanskrit text. The good translations are also available. You can check with that and you can explore and you can write the research papers also. So, impact of Indian knowledge system development is Indian knowledge system has a significant impact on modern knowledge. That is, we said the Indian contribution to the mathematics, invention of zero, decimal system, and have the profound influence of modern mathematics, science, concepts like algebra, trigonometry, geometry were developed in ancient India and from the basics of modern scientific engineering disciplines as well. Now we can explain about Indian knowledge system division because you should know about IKS division. I think you guys know about that. IKS division Delhi. It is established 2020. The Indian knowledge system is an innovative cell under Ministry of Education at AICT Delhi. So as a concept, IKS was introduced through National Education Policy NEP 2020. The objectives to promote interdisciplinary research on all aspects of IKS. That is a main agenda, main objective. That also we are also trying to do the same thing. Preserve and disseminate IKS for the further research and societal application. Why we are very much interested on this preserve means some of the manuscripts, it's maybe manuscripts are mostly in the form of palm leaves. So now it is destroying. Now it is not there. Some of the parts are not there. So if it is digitalized or we have to protect this, we have to protect this knowledge also. The traditional people, somebody they know about some kind of grantha script or some kind of knowledge, but it is after that, after their age, vanish. It will not be transformable. So that the knowledge should transform. That is what this NEP 2020 IKS division is promoting. Actively engage in spreading the rich heritage of our country and traditional knowledge in the field of arts, literature, agriculture, basic science, engineering, and technology and architecture, management, and economics also. Facilitate and coordinate IKS based related inter and transdisciplinary work by various institutions in India and abroad, including the universities, institutions of national importance, then some of the research and development laboratories and different ministries, and inspire the private sector and organization to engage with it. Now because they used to offer, they used to give the notification related to IKS proposals, IKS research center, IKS books and IKS projects, booklets, 10 booklets we have to submit. So these projects are going on. So if you are interested, you can connect this. How we can connect Indian knowledge system with the modern perspective, that is the idea. The main theme is that only we have to connect Indian knowledge system with modern science. So just we can give an example about Arthashastra, because why I'm saying is now some of the research is happening about Arthashastra. Arthashastra, you know, Arthashastra is an ancient Sanskrit textbook written in an ancient India. It is basically about statecrafts, political science, economic policy, and military strats. And the text author is typically assigned to Kautilya, known as Vishnugupta or Chanakya, you know. So this Arthashastra is a political science or economic science. The structure of Arthashastra, it's 15 books and 150 chapters and 180 topics are there. In that Arthashastra, the forensic aspects are explained. That is book 4, 8th chapter. That is why I'm explaining about this, because those who are interested in forensic areas, you can explore in this area. Then the main research areas as per IKS division Delhi. These are the areas. Holistic medicine and wellness, that is Ayurveda. Indian psychology and yoga. IKS based approaches for economics and governance and political system. Here this Arthashastra will come. I think you guys got to know about this thing. Here, the third idea, that is IKS based approaches for economics, governance, and political science. There, this Arthashastra aspects are become. Okay. IKS based approaches for management and leadership. That is for Bhagavad Gita. You can explore this with Bhagavad Gita. IKS based approaches for law and jurisprudence, that is, that I said, Nyaya Samhita, philosophy related thing. Nyaya. That is, we said no, for five philosophies are there. That is Astika Darshanas and Nastika Darshanas. Under Astika Darshana, Sankhya Yoga, Nyaya Vaisheshika, Purva Mimamsa, and Uttara Mimamsa. Here, this Anumana Pramana is very much important in this law and related thing. So, it is Nyaya philosophy. Then, IKS based approaches to the philosophical traditions. That is basically from Vedanta, that is emotional imbalance, stress balancing, all that things, and IKS approaches for the development of management of water resources. That is, in Arthashastra, something is there, and Rigveda 10th mandala is explaining about this water resources that you can explore. 10th mandala. 10 mandalas are there in Rigveda. In 10th mandala, water resources, water related things are explored. So you can explore that. IKS approaches to the conserve biodiversity and ecological protection. That is in some of the Puranas. For example, Vamana Purana. There I explained the protection, what is the importance of to protect biodiversity and ecological protections. See, in our ancient Indian knowledge system, especially this Puranas, they used to say, don't cut trees, preserve river. They protected because they consider it is in a form of holistic. It is holy. It is something related to holistic thing. So if it is, we did some disturbance on the Prakriti, it will disturb you, obviously. The balancing will not be there. There will not be a balance. So they connected that in a form of curse. See, if I did something, yeah, that Nadi will curse you, that Nadi will disturb you. But actually, it is the protection. It is conservation. It's a conserve biodiversity and ecological protection. But now we know that things. IKS approaches to conserve biodiversity and ecological protection. And Indian sports and martial arts. That is yoga related things we can apply on that. Then Krida Bhaga, it is there. See, sports means Krida Bhagas are there. Krida Bhagas means it is something we have to explore about this. Krida means play. See, you know that, right? So Krida Bhagas are also we can explore with this Indian sports and martial arts. Then architecture and engineering, town planning, civil engineering, Vastu and Shilpa Shastra. This is also temple architecture. Then town planning, civil engineering, Vastu and Shilpa Shastra. These are also there. So again, sustainable agriculture and food preservation methods. That is Annapanadi Drivya. See how to have good food. How it is Ayurveda. It is related to Ayurveda because Ayurveda is a lifestyle. So that also explained in this food preservation method. Then noble materials, metallurgy, and material science. It is from Arthashastra. Observational astronomy and calendar system, that you know, Jyotisha. Then shipbuilding, navigation, and maritime traditions. It is also from Rigveda Chaturtha Mandala. Mathematics and astronomy, I said. Chemistry in India, that is Rasa Arnava, Rasa Tantra, That is a particular textbook is there about chemistry, that is Rasarnava Rasa Tantra. Then another one is there that it is related to aeronautics is Yandrarnava, Vaimanika Shastra. These are the traditional textbooks. These are the traditional books you can explore with this. IKS documentation and creation of glossaries of IKS terms using traditional primary textbooks. And IKS approaches for Vrishaka and Pashu Chikitsa, that is plant and animal disease protection. So perfumes, that also you can explore. These textbooks are Yantranava, this Pashu Chikitsa, that is related to Ayurveda. Then another one is this metallurgy related thing, that is Rasa Tantra, Rasa Tantra Samuchaya also. So these are the areas you can explore. Exploring India's ancient wisdom with modern achievements. So, the significance of the Indian knowledge system lies in its rich heritage of wisdom and holistic approach to life. See, we have to be holistic, otherwise, it will not work. Something we have to learn and it will improve our quality of life. So, the profound contributions to philosophy, science, spiritual, and culture, it offers the diverse perspective and timeless insights that continue to inspire and influence the global thought, fostering and deeper understanding of the human experience and interconnectedness of all knowledge domains. Now we can just concentrate on forensic related thing because there are some more researches are happening on this forensics. Forensic science is the application of scientific principles for investigations of crime and legal disputes. Has a rich history spanning the centuries. Its development has been shaped by evolution of scientific knowledge, the technological advancement, and increasing the complexity of crime and justice system. It initially in 2047, one of the earliest recorded instance of forensic science is founded in Chinese text Xuan Liu, Washing Away of the Wrong, written by Sang Chi. This manual describes how to differentiate between accidental and intentional death, including the use of insects to detect blood on weapons. See, in 2047, you keep that in mind. But in Arthashastra, we know Arthashastra time period. Arthashastra already explained about this kind of things. In Arthashastra, the same idea how to differentiate the if it is a murder, if it is an intense, if it's a suicide, and if it is something related to insect or something bit, it's already explained in chapter 4 Adhikarana. So we are, that is what? Forensic toxicology, detection and analysis of drugs, alcohols, poison, and other toxic substances in biological samples. That is Agada Tantra. See, so this Agada Tantra forensic investigation is in 2047, but here the second century, no, for 6th century, 5th century, we already know about Agada Tantra. And forensic pathology, examination of bodies to determine the cause and the manner of death. This is Sharira Kriya Tantra. That also we know from Indian knowledge system. You can get to know about that. Forensic psychology and psychiatry, the study of human behavior and mental health in the context of criminal investigation. That is a particular grantha is there about forensic psychology psychiatry. That is the name of that textbook is uh, Manatantra. Manatantra. It's a textbook. It's explaining about this only. It's already translated English textbook. You can available that in. I think it is available in some of the manuscripts also. Some of the manuscript libraries in Trivandrum manuscript library it is available, and Muthuswami Dikshit library also it is available. Manatantra, the same aspect. So, if you are interested, you can write a paper on that. Modern forensic and how we can connect this with this Manatantra. Then forensic chemistry, that is analysis of chemical evidences related to the crimes. That is Rasiga Tantra. That is another textbook, Rasiga Tantra. So, See, analysis of chemical evidences now also they are doing. But in this Rasiga Tantra, what they are trying to do is with some kind of powders and some kind of available medicines in our environment, some of the in our forest also some kind of medicines are there. They are using that medicines in place of these chemicals, and they are doing some investigation. That is Rasiga Tantra. Why is IKS is relevant to forensic science? That is next. The forensic concepts in Arthashastra, that is crime detection, evidence handling in Vidara Shastra. So Vidara Shastra is one of the area is explaining about crime detection and evidence handling. Now also the people are doing some evidence handling, but the logic things they are also explained. So those who are interested, that is what National Forensic University now I think they are implementing some of the courses related to Vidara Shastra, and some of the projects are also happening. Then, chemical powder. Mixture of Brahmi and Ashwagandha, Gututika is using for as a, because in fingerprint technology they used to do some powders. So the powders it is very costly. So the students, those who learn, in the laboratories, they wanted to use this mixture, Brahmi and Ashwagandha Gututika mixture in place of that modern powders, because this modern powders it's obviously it is costly. So now they are planning to replace if the result is same. So the researchers are going on, if the result is same they will use this Brahmi and Ashwagandha Kudutika. The project is it's on the way, it's ongoing. And Agada Tantra in Ayurveda Arthashastra, that I said, toxicology and poison detection. Fingerprint technology in Arthashastra, that is Kavana Tantra. So Kavana Tantra is explaining about this mixture, about some of the different kind of chemicals also they are explaining in Kavana Tantra. Because if it is the murder is happened with some kind of poison, so the blood they will take the blood and they will add some kind of medicines and some kind of like some like this Brahmi, it is not Brahmi, it's something different, some chemicals, some plant juice. Then, if the color is changing, if the color is blue, and if the color is changing some yellow color, if the color is blue, it is they are notified that it is something, some poison is affected. So, if it is the color, there is no change in the color, it's a normal death. It's something related to the inner thing. So, poison, nothing, no poison attack. So these are the ideas. These are the some of the examples. You can explore more. Vinumra Tantra and its application in forensic science also, that is mind and behavior things. So that is Vinumra Tantra. It's related to mind and behavior. So these are the ideas you can explore and you can write and you can do research on that. Basically, the ancient toxicology and modern forensic science, insight from Ayurveda and Agada Tantra. Why I am focusing on that? Because now the researches are going on and this is most trending topic. Agada Tantra, I said. Agada Tantra, overview of ancient toxicology. So, Agada Tantra, one of the 8 branches of Ayurveda, focuses on the study of poison and antidotes. That is, Agada means poison. So, it includes the method for identifying poisons and their effects on the body and the treatment to contact the toxicity. So, as per Indian knowledge system, Visha, the poison is Visha, categorizing into two. Stavara Visha. Stavara Visha is plant-based poison. And Vasthanga Visha is Dhatu and opium. These are Stavara Vishas. Jangama Visha means animal-based poison. Snake venom, scorpion sting, like that. Kritrima Visha is now we are giving now artificial man-made poisons, chemical toxins. That is chemical toxins. So why I am explaining is based on that they can discriminate whether it is happened through Kritrima Visha, whether it is happened through Jangama Visha, like that. So this is explained, already explained all these things in our traditional textbooks. Earlier forensic applications. So in Arthashastra and some of the other textbooks, postmortem observation. See, the Sushruta Samhita describe the change in body after death due to the poisoning, including discoloration, swelling, and frothing, which are critical for the forensic investigation. Those who are working on that, it is very critical. So how you can get to know about that? So Sushruta Samhita explaining this very in detail manner. Detection in food and water. Ancient methods to detect poison in food and water include observing the change in the color or smell of food, testing whether water caused abnormal reactions in animals. See, sometimes if they will add in their blood samples some powders, it's some medicinal powders, some plants powder, and then after that the changing of color, it will, if the change of color will reflect whether the it is poison or in the food or in the water, something else. And behavioral observations, Agata Tantra emphasize the importance of observing behavioral changes in includes restless and delirium to diagnose the poisoning, which aligns with the modern forensic toxicology focus on victim behavior also, that mind and behavior related things. See one example. In case of sudden death, the corpse shall be smeared over with oil and examined. Now also this is happening. See, this Taila Abhyukta Ashu Mritakam Parikshete. This postmortem sometimes sudden death if something happened. So they will smeared oil on their body. So if some bulging or something is there, that they can go to know about that. Some hitting or something happened. So this is already explained in Arthashastra. The translation. This is the reference. Tailam abhyaktam ashu mritakam parikshade. Now also, yes, yes, yes. Autopsy. Any dead person of similar description with marks of bleeding, bite may be considered as having been bitten by serpent and other poisoned creature. Tameva sashoshinam damsham sarpa kita hatam vidya. This is also from Arthashastra, the reference. Another, any dead person with dark colored hands, legs, teeth, and nails, with loose skin, hairs, fallen flesh, reduced and with face reduced of foam and saliva may be regarded as having been poisoned. See, Chwava, Pani, Pada, Danda, Nagha, Shidhila, Mamsa, Roma, Charmana, Pena, Ubadigdha, Mugham Vishahatam Vidyat. This is also a reference. So why I am trying to say is these are the references. So it is not, I am not saying anything from the air. The references are there. So the ideas are there in Arthashastra. See, this is something related to case studies and application. This is my observation. See, in sound treated rooms and fix. Now also these forensic peoples, they used to do some kind of sound treating rooms. They will put the person, the victim, in sound treated rooms, and they will fix electrodes on the scalp, and based on the waves, they will understand whether this person is his mind, he did this victim or he did that crime, something they are applying something like that. But in the ancient time, this also did this is they will, the sound treated room means shabda purana vekam. Shabda purana means that is they will construct a room such a way that there will not be any sound, some treated room, and they will put some kind of medicinal parts, medicines there, and some aroma fragrance, some aroma things are also they will put in that room, and they will apply some oil in their scalp. And then after that a person, because now that is Bishop Gwaras or some different peoples are there, they will check, they will put their head, their hand, fingers here, and they can understand the wave, how they are, the nerves, how the nerves are moving, how the thoughts are moving. So now what, now modern sense what they are doing is, now we are planning to recreate that. But how? This oil, some kind of oils, what kind of oils they used, it is there in the Arthashastra and Vimaniga Tantra textbook also. So now the research is happening on that area, because now we are planning to do that oil, we are applying that oil in their scalp and fixing the electrodes on the scalp and the same procedure. But here we are planning some, that is what the connection between Indian knowledge system and the modern science. So adding that oil, and how will be the result? The research is happening. The researchers are going on. This is something related to IKS centers in India. So the main IKS centers, IKS division Delhi. So there are some areas you can explore. This they will use to give the proposals and project proposals. Notifications are there, and some internship programs are also there. You can explore on that area. And sometimes I used to ask about the paper presentation and project proposals and research papers also. That also you can explore. And IIT Mandi, that's another IKS center. Brihat, it's an online platform. That also you can explore and you can do work on that. Then Uttaranchal University, IIT Kanpur, Illur. That is Illur is it is National Law University. There also they are using, they are planning, they are also exploring about Indian knowledge system. National Forensic University, NFSC. There is it is related to this Arthashastra aspects. So here, I think some of the glimpses I have given, some of the ideas I have given. So you can explore on that area. I am not extending more. You can ask me about the questions, because it's more thing. The more idea will be the exploring. You have to ask the questions and how you can include your ideas and your knowledge through the Indian knowledge system related things. Yes, Rohit.
Good evening, ma'am.
Yes.
First of all, thank you for this session. And secondly, ma'am, my question was simple, ma'am, that everyone knows that the contribution of India has been immense in the field of almost every human aspect, be it spiritual, scientific, or everything. And I think gradually renaissance is also developing in the Indian youth related to this contributions, and a consciousness is gradually awakening. But there is a problem, ma'am, that for the past 60 to 70 years, a lot of our historians have painted anything which is scientific or related to the field of science, mathematics. If it is related to the Indian culture, they'll brand it as religious and sideline it. For example, ma'am, let me quote you a from a very famous historian when he was writing about Vaisheshika philosophy, which was given by Rishi Kashyap. He told that while the Vaisheshika philosophy marked the beginning of physics in India, but the scientific view was diluted by a belief in God and spiritualism, and this school put a faith in both heaven and salvation. So according to him, because it was linked to the Indian culture, and the Indian culture was somehow related to the concept of religion, which itself is very flawed, so it is not that much contributing to the field of science. And I think that is haunting our civilizational growth for the last 60 to 70 years, ma'am. Whenever anybody talks about anything that Indians had done in the past, for example, the Meru Prashtahar, it was used for the making of altars, for yagya altars, and it talks about trigonometry and mathematics. So they sideline it in the field of mathematics, which is the Pascal's triangle, because it was related to something that they perceive as religious. So how do we counter these things, ma'am? Because it is very unfortunate and very sad.
See, the problem, I think that is what initially I said, no, we have to quantify our data. So we have to do the research on that. Initially, these ideas are there. In our Indian knowledge system, these ideas are already there. So this is our task. This is as an Indian, as a researchers, it is our task to explore. If it is quantifying, if we are establishing something very quantifying data, we are proving that it is already there. See, you can see that, you can get to know about these ideas are there. It is not spiritual. That is the problem. Something related to Sanskrit, the people are thinking it is spirituality. It is not spirituality. It is purely maths. It is purely science. But the problem is already some kind of, because traditional thing, it is like the tradition, it is Sanskrit, so it is related to something spirituality. So it is our task to establish this is related to science. So for that, what we have to do, we have to connect, we have to prove this, it is science. So the problem is, that is another issue is there. Those who are the traditional scholars, they know about the Sanskrit related thing, they know about this textbooks, and they know to interpret this textbook. But it is, they are failing, where they are failing, they can't interpret that in the modern sense. So here your task, the modern peoples, like we have to interpret that the need and demand of the society based on the modern context, based on the modern science we have to interpret. That is the main thing we have to do. I think whatever is there, the traditional scholars, they know everything about our Indian knowledge system. They know about to interpret the knowledge in the traditional way. But the modern peoples, you like the new generation, what they you have to do, you have to interpret that in the modern sense. Then yeah, it is connected, no true. Yeah, this modern science, for example, if that Ardhashastra related Ardhashastra, when it is evolved, it is Chanakya's time, then China, it is just one when they established a forensic related thing, that is only the CE 1257. So these things are there in Arthashastra, and you have to connect with this and the workshops, through the seminars, through the conferences, through the papers, and in the universities are also used, has to give more importance about these kind of things. Then obviously the peoples are also going to know if some kind of debates or something is there. If the knowledge, the wisdom is with us, we can fight, we can do fight with them. The problem is we are limited knowledge. The problem is some of the knowledge treasure, some of the manuscripts still it is not editable. It is still in some of the puja rooms. It is some of the traditional thing also. So the main thing we have to explore this wisdom. So it is our task, the researchers, the modern generation's task is to explore with the that knowledge. Then it will come definitely. The international conferences or something is happening now. So I think it is the main thing. We have to do that. It's our task.
And ma'am, secondly, I wanted to ask one more thing that gradually there has been an academic consciousness about this, and in the academic field, like me and many more people are getting to know about these things. But yet, in our conventional rank and file, the masses which live in our people, they still think that our culture is very superficial, and they have made a very limited definition of our culture, that it is only related to something puja or something ritualized or something like that. They can't even relate if we talk about science with our ancient culture. So how do we say generalize these things in the masses too? How do we inculcate that knowledge system that is gaining a consciousness in the academics to that place also?
Actually, in academics we can do that, but in the traditional people, some of the peoples, they are very much traditional. See, I have a personal experience, because when the time of manuscript edition, some of the manuscripts we used to edit, because it's a puja. If it is in the puja room, it will be in the puja room only. The knowledge will not be shared. So we went there and we are asking about that manuscript. They are not interested to share. Even they are not interested to take that from the puja room also. How many times we are saying that it is related to a knowledge thing. You have to give that. But sometimes it is, they are the people, those who are very traditional, they are thinking that if we share that knowledge, it will be some problem, it will affect their family, and it will affect their health or something. So these that is, it is particularly superficial only. So the thing is, only the new generation peoples, we can ask them to explore about them, to share this knowledge. And otherwise, because traditional vehicles we can't, because they are deep rooted. They are very deep rooted with the traditional thing. I'm personally experienced that thing. For example, the Jyotisha related textbooks, Amma, that Jyotisha textbooks they will not share. They said it is something related to their asset. They will not share. After that family, it is destroying. So these things, I think, how we can remove, I don't know, because actually the academic areas, you guys, because the peoples, those who are the academic areas like researchers, we can do. For the the traditional peoples, I don't think how we can change them. But I 50 percentage of the peoples, I think now they changed in Kerala. Some of the peoples, they changed, because we are conducting some of the workshops and some of the seminars, and we are giving the importance of that. So otherwise, so now I think it is quite better. So it is our responsibility, only we can do. Otherwise, because it is the wisdom will not share.
Abhiji, you can ask your question.
Good evening, ma'am. I'm from PSW first. I am currently pursuing BSW course from Chitrakoot University, Bhopal. Ma'am, I have a doubt. What is Vastu and Shilpa Shastra and what is frothing?
Vastu is related to Shilpa. It is different. No sculptures, all that things. It's Shilpa Shastra. Vastu related thing is it is if, for example, if we are constructing a home, if we are constructing a house or a building, so the position of rooms, the position of dining room, the position of where we have to put this kitchen, where we have to put the puja room, all these things are related to Vastu. According to the Vastu only we have to build, we have to construct a building. Even it is a house, even if it is a building, even if it is a commercial building, whatever it is that as per that Vastu only we have to do. Shilpa it is different. Shilpa Shastra, it's another thing. It's a sculpture and it is temple related thing. Temple in Vastu also. Vastu is particularly it is temple Vastu is there. If we are constructing a house, it is house related Vastu, and temple architecture it is totally different. So in temple architecture, sometimes we used to say the front portion will be in the Gobura forms, because in houses we can't do something like that. It is dosha. So, and the position of well, the position of stula, all these are related to Vastu. Shilpa, it is related to sculpture, and it is in house also. Shilpa, if we are doing some Shilpa Shastra, right, some kind of pratimas, something like that, so we can't put that pratimas in one corner. We are not used to supposed to put that corner shilpas in some other portion of houses, so it is different. And if you want to know more about Vastu Shastra, the textbook Vastu Vidya Shilpa, it is there. You can get that. I think it is available in online also. Vastu Vidya Kalpa.
Ma'am, my another doubt is what is frothing?
What is?
Frothing. Frothing.
I think I don't know. I'm not sure about that thing.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Payalji, you can ask your question.
Good evening, ma'am.
Yes, yes.
Ma'am, I want to ask some texts related to the political science,
Hmm.
which helps to figure out new research areas or new research topics.
Okay, this Arthashastra textbook. If you wanted to know about Arthashastra related thing, political things, it is related to Arthashastra. So Radha Krishna's textbook is there. Radha Krishna's textbook about Arthashastra. Hmm. And another thing, politics in India. Politics in India. Hmm. That is Atiti Verma.
Okay, ma'am.
And ancient politics and Indian economics. Ancient politics and Indian economics. That is again Aditya, A.R. Aditya. These textbook you can refer.
And ma'am, what is IKS is relevant to ancient India only, or it relevant to uh, new contemporary things also?
Yes, obviously it is related to the new contemporary, right? Because the knowledge is already there, but we have to use that knowledge modern contemporary areas in research areas. That is what all these areas I have shared. No, that more than 20 areas are there. So it is anyway it is relevant to the modern context. Metallurgy, Rasatantra, Rasarnava, and see for example Arthashastra, that is modern politics and forensic aspects. So obviously it is connected, the way how you are connecting, that is important.
Hmm. Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Shefali ji, you can ask your question.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Ma'am, my question is that I am a history student right now, and you talked about darshanas, the six astic and three nastic darshanas.
Yes.
So, are there any further darshanas that have evolved from the beliefs of those astic and nastic, and if yes, then where can we research about them in context of IKS and history?
See, actually, Navadarshanas are there. Navadarshana, I told you know. So this First three is initially it is the ancient one, I think Charvaga only, but there are no textbooks available. Charvaga, Jaina, Buddha. These are Nastika Darshana. Nastika means they are not concentrating on believing in God. They will not believe in some kind of Vedas. They are not believing in this. That is Nastika. Astika means these philosophies, they are basically, it is related to, they are believing in Vedas, they believe in God. God means that ultimate reality. Something is there. That only. So based on that, this categorization is there. So in IKS, how we can do the research is basically, I said this Kanada Sutra. It is one of the Shastra, that is Vaisheshika Shastra, Vaisheshika Sutra. So atomic related thing, atomic theory, and this Gautama's Nyaya philosophy. It is related to this logic analysis, logical reasoning, and this Vedanta. Obviously, it is related to mind and behavior. So these kind of areas you can explore, and these are the general areas you can explore. In deep sense, the Upanishad aspects also you can cover. But this Upanishad, it will come under this Vedanta only.
Okay, ma'am. And ma'am, one more question. Like, I am a history student and I would like to learn Sanskrit to study the primary sources in Sanskrit. From Vedic Sanskrit to Gupta period that has evolved. So how can I proceed that?
I didn't get your question.
Ma'am, I have got a background in noise and I have typed it in the chat box.
Yeah, yeah. Because your voice is, I don't know. Yes. Maybe Darshan is apart from the sixth Instagram. Non-Astic. There are mixture of some beliefs, Astic and Nastic Darshana. And if see, the basic Sanskrit is, that is, Prakrit Sanskrit and Vedic Sanskrit and Laukic Sanskrit. But most of the textbooks now it is in the form of Vedic, that is normal Laukic Sanskrit itself. So the basic Sanskrit primary textbooks you can read. If you want to know about the Vedic textbook, that is Prakrit Sanskrit and Vedic Sanskrit, it is very difficult to learn. But some of the universities, I think Prakrit also they are teaching. Some Soumya University, they are teaching Prakrit Sanskrit also. You can learn that from there. And one more thing, if most of the textbooks, Gupta period textbooks and Prakrit related textbooks also, now it is translated. Everything is translated in the Vedic textbook, Vedic like Laukik Sanskrit. So I think you can cover it on that. And now the thing is, most textbooks, yes, yes, most of the textbooks are edited. Manuscripts are also edited. No issues.
Zero niche.
Yes.
Ma'am, I had one more question, ma'am. Recently, the previous question in continuation to it. So, a point of Astic and Nastic, that is atheist and theist, came into being. So, ma'am, my question is: was this concept also in ancient India? Like our culture has always been such that you don't have to believe in something to be part of it. It was always a fight to attain the truth, and different methods were there.
Yes.
We were the only culture, we had charvaks and ajivikas, and they were also part of our culture. So don't you think this conception of atheistic, theistic, it was a later addition, and primarily due to Abrahamic invasions, this institutionalization of religion came into being, and which has hurt our culture a lot, ma'am?
Actually, Hinduism is a way of life, right? So this Vedas, in Vedas, what they are saying, Vedas is explaining about there is no such god. This is only an energy, only an energy. So this energy is related because based on that, that is what all these issues are happened. Shaivism, Kashmirism, it is later addition, right? So initially the thing is Vedas are explaining about only the reality, ultimate reality. here also in this Veda, in this Charva, in this Darshanas also explaining about in reality, ultimate reality only. But they termed us in different forms. That is Brahman, and Sankhya is explaining about Prakriti, and this Nyaya philosophy is explaining about Anu. But these are explaining. It is basically it is energy only. The aim is only one that. That is that energy only. That is ultimate reality. The later addition only these god concepts, all that things after the Aryanization. Some of the versions are after the Aryanization only this Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara Sankalpa came. Before that only this because in Rigveda 250 suktas are about only about Indra. So that time Indra is the most prominent, but Indra also is an energy. It is also an energy. It is not termed as a god. Later interpretations, because as per Sayana Sukta, Sayanacharya's Bhashyam, it is explaining about only about the thing is it is an energy. Then after that, Max Muller interpreted it is related to it has a form. It is it's a god. The god forms are later addition. These are the interpretations. Always the interpretations and commentaries makes the change. It is effective. So initially the thing is only about the energy only. There is no God concept. As per Indian knowledge system, there is no God concept. After that Veda period, then Purana period happened. That Purana period only this God, this Varuna Purana, Gupta Purana, Garuda Purana, Vishnu Purana, all this Purana concept after that only. Why this Purana concept happened means the normal peoples can't understand that much higher philosophical points. So the normal peoples they can understand only the stories. So the stories they interpreted in the form of story. So for the story they interpreted like in God. It's a Krishna, the God, the ultimate reality is Krishna. It's based on that interpretations only. The initial thing is it's a pure philosophy. There is no God. It's an energy. That is what the quantum physics also connected. I said energy not be created because it is created, but it can change in one form to another. But it is existed here. It can't create. So that is what this energy concept is in the Indian knowledge system, basically in Vedanta. Not Vedanta, all other system, all other darshanas also explains the same thing.
Yes, ma'am. Like Shiva was also called an energy. And
Mm.
secondly, ma'am, my basic question was that Ved Vyasa or Krishna Dvapayana was credited for writing all the Vedas,
Mm.
Puranas, Brahma Sutras, Upanishad, all of it. And if we place his timeline, then we see he was a prominent character in Mahabharata, and he's also claimed as a Chiranjeevi who lives right now.
Mm.
And some people
Mm.
say even Shankaracharya, Ramanujacharya, and
Mm.
Madhvacharya also visited him for writing commentaries on
Mm.
Brahma Sutras.
Mm.
That's why
Mm.
their commentaries were mostly prominent. So, what are your views on this, ma'am? That
See,
is
some
Vedvyasa or Krishna Dvapayana a real person?
because it's see in ancient times some mythological things are also there, no. So I am not interested to go with this mythological thing. See, if Vedas are written by it's Vedas are apaurusheyas. It's already mentioned Vedas are apaurusheyas, and this Vedas it's one mandala, 10 mandalas are there in Rigveda. This Rigveda 10 mandalas, this mantra drishtaras means the mantra they go to know from their Shakti, their intuition.
Meditative power.
Meditative power. So see, these kind of things now if we say it is nobody will nobody will address, nobody will include these ideas, right? So if that is what something we are connecting, we have to connect with the logic thing also. These some mythological things are there. Vyasa written all these Vedas are written by Vyasa and Brahma Sutra also. And these are some kind of mythological things. See, we can think like some one guru was there. Then that guru is traditionally transferred that to with the other shishya and another shishya and another shishya. So that guru shishya parambara we can say that. So in that guru, the prime guru may be Veda Vyasa. We can consider like that because the
I
and
mean,
Shankara.
some people also say that Vyasa still lives in Badrinath, and then they give the example that Ramanujacharya, Shankaracharya visited him, and that's why they made the most exact translations of Brahma Sutra. So, what do you have to say about it? Because they also have written in somewhat in their scripts that we met Vyasa himself. So, what do you think about this, ma'am? Was
See,
he a real physical character?
maybe sometimes because it's I'm not sure about with the textbooks only. We are also get to know all these ideas. Sometimes because if I am a Vaishnava or if I am an Advaita Vedanta, I will focus on only with Shankaracharya. So I will justify all the things with Shankaracharya tradition only. So if I am a Ramanuja philosopher and I will focus on Ramanuja, so I will, because sometimes the stories makes no. If I am interested on that, the commentaries are also focused on that kind of things. If I am interested on Vedanta, I will write some textbooks related to Vedanta only. So I can say, yeah, this is directly I go to know from Shankaracharya, and I go to know I written from Shankaracharya. But there is no physical evidences for that. Is it there any physical evidences? Only the stories and mythological things are. These are the mythological things, right? There is no. That is what. If we say something, we have to justify our wisdom. That is the problem of mythology. If something history means, they will say, because some inscriptions are there, some transcripts are there, some manuscripts are there, so they will justify it. As I know, some of the people, they are from history background, so historical peoples, they can justify their knowledge. The problem is in our tradition. See, these are some kind of mythological aspects are also there, so we can't justify our knowledge. So I think these mythological things sometimes it affects some our credibility also. That also affects sometimes. See, Vyasa is there, but we can say Vyasa is just a guru. We can consider Vyasa as a guru. Shankaracharya also is a guru. So the name termed as Shankaracharya, his commentaries and all these textbooks written by Shankaracharya. It's a tradition. Shankara Parampara. Vyasa, that Gurukula Parampara. We can say that's a Parampara. It's a Gurukula. Maybe that is a physical person, but we can't say now it is there, or maybe the energy is there. We can say like that energy is now also there. See, if Vyasa, because in some temples we used to go and we used to pray that Buddhi, please give your Buddhi. See, that is an energy. So we can say that energy, still that energy is there. That is what we are discussing about Vyasa. We are discussing about Shankaracharya. Still, in this 21st century also, we are discussing about Shankaracharya. So that energy will be there. Now also that energy is there. That in the different forms. In the different forms of energy, the different forms of knowledge, the different forms of science. I'm interested to say like that.
Okay.
I hope we are done with all the questions. Okay. So, thank you so much, ma'am, for your precious time, for guiding us, and for sharing such profound insights. Your words have truly enlightened us and have added immense value to this 3 day workshop. And thank you to all the participants for such engaging interaction. As we come to the close of this 3 day online Dakshi workshop, it is not just an ending but a new beginning. Over these 3 days, we have listened, learned, and reflected upon ideas that connect tradition with contemporary thought and knowledge with practice. Each session has left us with new insights and deeper perspectives. We extend our heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed speakers and respected participants. And special thanks to today's speaker, ma'am, Dr. Soumya ma'am, for guiding us so meaningfully. So now, as is our tradition, let us conclude with a collective expression of love and reverence for our nation. So I request everyone to kindly join for singing of Vande Mataram. I'll start. Vande Mataram, Vande Mataram. सुजलां सुफलां मलयज शीतलां सस्य श्यामलां मातरं वन्दे मातरम् शुभ्रज्योत्स्ना पुलकितयामिनी फुल्लकुसुमितद्रुमिदल शोभिनी सुभाषिनी सुमधुरभाषिणी सुखदां वरदां मातरम् वन्दे मातरम् Vande Mataram. Thank you everyone for joining this session. You can leave. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you to all the
Thank you, ma'am,
participants.
for giving this wonderful